Hey guys, Brian here from Cross Coast Gaming with another Forge tutorial for Halo 2 Anniversary. Everyone seemed to really like my last one, and I got a lot of requests for a video showing how to spawn and despawn objects with scripting, so that's what this is going to be. So I guess we'll go to a custom game first, and I'll show you the little test map I threw together, so you can see what we're going to be making. And so the reason I'm going to a custom game is because, unfortunately, at least as of now, you can't test the spawning and despawning in Forge mode. It's going to make you go to a custom game to see those changes take place. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this loading screen real quick. Alright, so what we're going to be making are the three most basic kind of fundamental spawning and despawning techniques, I imagine. This first one here, you can see it spawned, despawned. It's on a timer to toggle it on and off. So this could be helpful for, I don't know, timed events. If maybe like 2 minutes in or every 2 minutes you want like a shield wall to spawn in the middle of the map, or maybe you just want like a jumping map and you have like these things spawning and despawning over and over. And then the next one over here, we have a pillar. Pretty much the same thing, except you toggle it on and off. So this is set by the player. This will stay forever until the next time you come over here and hit the button again, and then it will disappear. And then the last one, probably my favorite, is you use the button and it'll spawn temporarily before disappearing. So let's go ahead and try that. Use the button. You can see it's here right now. This is helpful if you want to make a jumping map or a puzzle or something, and maybe like you want to time them on a certain part of it. At least that's the way I used it, is you have them activate it, then run over here, and then try to do whatever they need to do before it despawns. And so right now I have it set for like 6 seconds to despawn. So let's go ahead and head into Forge here, and we'll start making this. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Alright, now that we're in Forge, I'm going to do what I did last time and make us a little place to experiment. Like so. And move this stupid camera out of the way. And so now, we make 3 blocks, just like last time, or just in the custom game, that we can kind of do stuff with. So I'll put one here, and one here. And for the first one, we're going to make it automatically spawn and despawn. So there'll be a timer toggle. And remember, there's 2 kinds of timers from the last video. There's the like microwave countdown timer, and there's the one that continually resets and activates over and over. And this is the latter. So on this timer, we're going to go to scripting here and set the broadcast channel to 1. And then go in our block over here. And there's a couple things we need to do for this block. First off, we need to go to scripting and set the spawn channel to 1 to match our timer. And we also need to make can despawn set to true. Otherwise the block will be here forever. So for our next block, we're going to do the same thing. Set can despawn to true. Set the spawn channel to 2, and we're going to make a switch to toggle it, and set this broadcast channel to 2. And then finally, for the one that appears when you hit the button and then counts down and disappears, this one's a little bit more complicated. We're going to use 2 scripting objects for this. The first one is going to be a switch on. We'll set this right here. Set the scripting to channel 3 for broadcast. And on our block, we want to go to advanced, place at start false. Because remember, it doesn't appear in the beginning. We want to make it appear with the button. So place at start false. And under scripting, spawn channel is 3, and can despawn is true. So right now, all this will do is when we hit the switch, this is going to spawn in the game. But we want it to leave apparently too, or we want it to leave eventually. So we're going to go to timers and do a timer off once. There's a little countdown microwave timer here. Set the power channel to 3 and the broadcast channel to 3. And then we need the timer. So the amount of time that we want the block to stay alive. So we'll just say 6 seconds. So what's going to happen now is when we hit this on switch, it's going to broadcast the on command on channel 3, which this block has its spawn channel set to. So it's listening on channel 3 for spawn commands. It doesn't spawn by default, so when it hears that, it'll spawn in the game. And then we're also going to activate the power on this switch right here. So you can see that in the description, enabling and disabling of this object is controlled by switches, timers, and triggers broadcast in the same channel. So we're turning this switch on. And so when we do that, it's going to count down from 6, and then it's going to broadcast the turn off message on channel 3, which will turn off this block. And incidentally, it'll also turn off itself. And now for the finishing touches, let's go ahead and go to structures, decorative, column. And this is because you can't see the buttons in the game, remember? So this is for us to find those when we go into the custom game. So we can place one back there, one right here, and one over here. We don't need one behind the timer because we're not interacting with that directly. And I'll lower these blocks a little bit so that we can kind of jump on them and stuff. And then lastly, did we ever change the timer toggle time? We didn't, so it's set to 0. So we need the interval that it's going to spawn and despawn. We'll just say 5. And I think we're done. So I'm going to save this. And I'll see you guys in the custom game. Alright, and now that we are inside the game, we have our 3 columns. Alright, this is the first one. So remember, this one is just automatically going to appear and disappear every 5 or 6 seconds. Also, these bullet decals stay in the air when something disappears right now. I'm not sure if they'll end up fixing that or not, but just be aware if you're trying to hide the fact that something was here, it's going to be a little difficult with these things staying here. The next one is our toggle on and off, I believe. So use the switch. Here it is. This will stay around forever until you decide to go back to the switch and toggle it back off. And then lastly, we have the timer one. So we'll use this, and we'll have a block here. And this is helpful for if you want to do like jumping maps, or only allow people a limited time. I think I covered that in the beginning. But everything seems to be working. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any more questions on other parts of Forge. I really enjoy putting out these videos. And add me on Xbox Live if you want to work on some cool stuff together. Alright guys, till next time.